Hello lovers, happy Sunday. It's another time with us on Deep Questions with African SOMMA. Here we'll talk about facts and reality, question no one else. I mean, no one else is asking. Yeah. So today I'm really excited because I have two gentlemen on the show. I'm not alone. I'm feeling like, what's that special? Here we have Frank Black, a model actor and an entrepreneur.
Hello.
So good to have you.
You too.
We also have Bazini, a musician and an entrepreneur. Yeah.
I got it.
So today the topic we have is this topic is really really interesting because I have my own opinions on it. The topic is, can one be in love and still cheat? Like, in quotes, can one be in love and still cheat? Have in mind that loving someone is different from being in love.
I think that first of all we have to define what being in love is. If you really think about it, an individual conversation, what does being in love mean, and also what does cheating mean? Because um, being in love is in a monogamous context because there are people that are polygamous and they still love their wives. I told you the story of my grandfather's friend. I was married to a record 16 wives.
Wow.
16 wives. And he took good care of them. So if you ask that man that question now, what do you expect? Do you think he doesn't love his wife and his children? Love them all. Yeah. So more
I'm
context.
actually love it, but is he in love?
What does being in love mean? That's what I'm asking you. What does it mean?
Me, I feel being in love comes with being obsessed with that person.
So it has to be one person.
You know, are you talking monogamy, or like what does being in love mean? Because my grandfather's friend took care of his people, took care of his wife, was responsible for all of them.
And he was
Well,
in
that
love with
was
all
then.
of
Let's
them.
talk about 21st century, like this present day Nigeria. Can one be in love and still cheat?
Okay, let's define
Or okay,
cheating.
let me give this scenario. Like, take for
Okay.
instance, you know the kind of love that what's his name, Ozo, Big Brother Niger, prefers to Nengi. Like saying, "I love you, Nengi. I love you, Nengi." The way he was so obsessed about her. Like, let's say they finally have something. Someone like that, someone like Ozo, would you go cheating on Nengi after saying like, "I love you, I'm in love with you, I'm gonna marry you," something like that. Like that kind of, we saw them, like this is a reality TV show. We saw the kind of love that he professed to Nengi. But would he still go and cheat on Nengi after getting her?
You're talking about this 21st century
Yeah.
romanticized idea of love and monogamy going hand in hand. So if I love you, it is you and you alone for the rest of my life.
Well, me, I'm of the opinion, maybe I should start. I'm of the opinion that I can't be in love and still cheat because I cannot stand another man. Like, cheating in the sense having sexual intercourse. That is what I mean.
Okay.
Cheating
So-
in the sense having sex, I can't actually stand another man touching my body
So it
when
has
I'm
to
in
be-
love with. I'm obsessed about
So
that
you
man.
mean penetration?
Yes, because if I'm in love with you, I might see Bazini and I'll call Bazini Frank. That is how it is for me. Like,
Okay.
I'm obsessed about you.
Okay, because in the context of cheating, some will say one should use dildos and masturbate and sex toys. Some people call it cheating too. Does that count?
Let's go with what is generally, like acceptable. The general belief.
But this conversation is something that is specific to the individual. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think the general belief is something that will not really
We're not
work
really
because
agree, yeah,
people are
because people
different.
have different.
I
people are
know
different.
individual differences
Yes.
comes in.
People
Yeah?
are different.
Okay, to you
Okay.
and to you. Let's just deal with
Let's
it like
do
that.
Well,
These
personally,
guys are tough, man.
No, we have to really say what it is. Not, Frank, go ahead.
Okay, well, for me, I believe it goes both ways. Cheating is wrong. There is no gray area there. Or maybe there is actually a gray area because situations and scenarios will determine if it's really the love aspect of it that caused it, or it's just the situation you find yourself in. Because sometimes you find yourself in a very sticky situation, and it's not even that you don't love your wife or your girlfriend, it's just what is going on right there and then.
Circumstances.
Yeah, exactly. You see somebody, sometimes you could, let's just say you have a drug problem or, alcohol problem. And it means that, that you lose that self-control anytime you get that high. It's not like you don't love your wife, but you're in a club situation and, girls are stripping and dancing and you're in the club and you took little alcohol. And the next thing you know, that filter between, hey, I love my wife, and being sexually attracted to other females goes away. It doesn't mean you don't love your wife. It's just at that point where you have alcohol in your system, there is an inhibition. So you're not really seeing, you're not thinking of the love you have for your wife. You're just thinking of that sexual need at that time. If you do it then, it's cheating, yes. But it's not out of spite that, I don't love my wife. No, it's not. It's just you find yourself in a very sticky situation, in a funny location where you shouldn't, let's just say where you shouldn't be, and you find yourself being tempted or something. How does that work?
And in addition to that, I want to say something. It's important that we separate sex from love, because love is one thing, sex is another entirely different thing. Then, with respect to cheating, there's a part where, okay, it is you go into a relationship with somebody and you agree to be monogamous, and somebody goes out and has sex with another person. Yes, that one is cheating, you understand? But if we separate the love from the cheating, we can be able to tell when your partner now does something like goes out to cheat, you can now really address the situation and say, okay, you slept with somebody else, and this is why I am leaving this relationship. Not because I don't love you. You understand? You can separate it so that you know that, okay, this person loves me, but they did what they did because maybe that's what they were or something. Love has nothing to do with it. What's that song? What's love got to do with it?
See, Frank, in reference to what you said, I have an addition to make, and I also had an addition to make to what you said, but I'm going to say, add to what you said first. Would you agree with me that I don't like it when people say, oh, we went to the club, we drank alcohol, I was high, I was intoxicated, and then we had sex. Don't blame it on alcohol, don't blame it on whatever you smoke.
That's why I said having a drug problem.
Before you cheat, before you, see, sex is long, but it's far. Before you think of, going into the room, undressing, opening your leg to sleep with someone, you've already talked about it. This is not about alcohol. Don't blame it on alcohol.
I feel like that's just one, you're just looking
it's
at it
intentional.
from I feel like you're just looking at it from one perspective. And if you see, normally, with humans generally, because we're human beings, whenever stuff like this happens, we always like to pick out one perspective and look at it, because that it's easier for us to understand that with there are a myriad of factors that come together. Yes, before that thing happens.
But then you had it in mind to cheat because
Okay,
you did not see
it's
because you did not see sleeping with someone as cheating. So you already have it in mind that, okay, this is the person I love, but it doesn't stop me from getting.
Now you're having a wider conversation, because this thing there's also the factor where you have to look at where the person that cheated is in their life. They may be at the point in their life where they don't really understand the responsibility of commitment, monogamous relationship.
That commitment to one person.
So it's in the same. Will you beat a child? Let me ask you. Will you beat a child? If a child does something wrong, will you punish them the same way you punish an adult?
No.
So for somebody that has not yet fully understood that the responsibility of a monogamous relationship, will you accuse the person of not being in love with the person they cheated on?
Before bringing monogamy into this, it has to be discussed and agreed between the two people. Do you understand? People have to say, okay, are we having an exclusive relationship? Are we having an open relationship? Which one? So, however, if I see you, but then, okay, let's say this thing. Now, let's just bring it moving, like looking at this cheating in the aspect of a guy cheating. Let's say you're married and your wife, and you find out that I've been sleeping with Frank. How would you take it? Would you still believe that I'm in love with you, but then I'm sleeping with someone else?
I'm speaking for myself, because, like I said in the beginning, this thing is an individual thing.
Because I think let's take it personal, like so that we'll be able to.
I'm speaking it for myself, myself now personally. I think at that instant, I'll be able to separate the love from the action that happened. First and foremost, I want to say this for anybody out there, and I'm not trying to enforce my personal beliefs on other people, but if you feel like somebody undermines you or undermines the respect you have for them by cheating, instead of spending time and growing resentful of that person, I think a wiser thing to do is to break up from that relationship, separate yourself from that relationship. But do it for the right reasons. Don't go and lie to yourself and say, oh, the person did not love you. They may have loved you. You understand? They may have loved you, but they cheated. Address the situation for what it is. So personally, if you coming down to the question you asked, I think I will be 100% able to separate it. First and foremost, I'll ask myself, what kind of person had I become to, believe a person that told me that, we're in a monogamous exclusive relationship and they went on behind my back. Like how careless would I have been that I did not know that this was happening? Like,
I,
you understand?
I think there's something you're not getting. I'm not talking about being in a relationship with someone and cheating. I'm talking about being in love. Can one be in love and
That's what
cheating? You
we're
might be in a
saying.
relationship, but you're not in love. Do you get? You're just probably dating the person
what
for
are you
different
doing
reasons.
That's what I'm saying. It's a
What are you
perspective.
doing?
What are you
Going
doing in a
into
relationship
for
that are
not
not?
because they are in love. Some people go into a relationship because
Okay, but we're talking
I don't want
personal.
to be single. I don't want to be lonely. Let me just be with someone. They are not in love. I'm talking about people who are in love.
So you don't believe we're in love because we're talking from our own perspective and we're giving you what we think is applicable to us from the views we have. Okay, let me give you another story. You think maybe because I said drug addiction and alcohol, okay, painted it bad. You've heard of pastors cheating sometimes, right? Mess around.
They are humans
and
as
have
well.
sex. Yeah, exactly. Mess around and have sex with choir mistress or something.
Church member.
Yeah, that kind of thing. It happens, right? You could just be and she comes over looking all hot and slutty, you trying to evade her, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, because the thing is, we're saying cheating and we're saying all these things, we're neglecting biology and hormones because they control us.
A lot of times
They control us.
A lot of people today refuse to believe these things, but I don't know if there's substantial evidence out there to back up the fact that biologically men are more prone to the ground
Have
for
the
temptation
urge,
is more slippery.
sexual.
Yeah, for us, yeah.
I'm not a cheat. I won't cheat. I may have done that in the past, but that was obviously immaturity, But when you get to a more mature place in your life, you start to realize the weight of the commitment that is exclusivity, being monogamous. But I don't think I would say to somebody who has been in a relationship and the partner cheated on them, be able to separate the two things so that you can know this person that cheated on me, did they make a mistake? Is it because they had a drug problem, they are nymphos, or something just happened? And ask yourself a totally different question. Did he love me? It has nothing to do with it. So I think people should be able to separate it.
Well, I think this one you're saying would help a lot of people that, let's say, I'm in Nigeria, my boyfriend is in America, we're having a long distance relationship, and then they're like, I have this girlfriend, she's actually married. So she's in Nigeria, her husband is abroad, and they stay 2 years, they're not seeing each other. Sometimes I'm like, babe, does it mean, are you trying to tell me that in 2 years of not seeing this guy, you've not had any sexual intercourse with any other person? Like, they don't talk about it, they don't want to come out, like, everybody is like, okay, yeah, I'm good, I'm a saint. Nobody's coming out to say this thing.
So
I doubt it because I don't believe.
But if they go
Although I
ahead-
know cheating, everything you do is a decision. You've already thought about it before doing it. Do you understand? So it's,
Sometimes it's not that. You think not all
if you say
sexual
it's a
advances
decision,
is
like the kind of
premeditated.
decision I'm
Not
talking
all of them
about
are
is,
premeditated.
if I say I am dating this guy and I make a decision that no other guy will sleep with me, it's a decision that I will not break, no matter what influence that surrounds me, the circumstances I find myself, drug or whatever, alcohol, whatever, nothing.
Sometimes you just find yourself in a situation where you can't control. Like I said, okay, imagine somebody just walks in and strips. Let's just say you're a pastor. Let's just make it very intense. And somebody having a crush on you and just walks into your office and takes all her clothes off. And now you're fighting in your head with the love you have. You're fighting biology, which is, there's that natural attraction to a female. It's normal. And you're fighting your hormones. Maybe at that point, there's that frequency thing where I haven't had sex in this long with my wife. So there's that accumulation of that sex drive hormone. And then, so all those things are fighting against you. Exactly. So it's like, I love my wife and all.
You're not strong enough.
Yeah, you're not strong enough. That's it. I love my wife, but I am in the funniest situation.
Okay, you've been making this alcohol thing.
This is not alcohol.
Hold on. Let's say, what if you find yourself in this scenario, like you did it once under the influence of alcohol. You did it once, fine and understood. I can believe that, okay, you're still in love with this person. It just happens. But what about when it becomes like a continuous thing, like it keeps happening? We used to say you're in love with someone and you keep cheating.
That's when you as a person, you have to look at yourself and understand that you have a problem.
You have a problem.
And also because of the respect you have for, if you had a conversation with somebody that was going to go into a monogamous relationship, I'm assuming that there's an underlying foundation of respect between you two. So when you look at yourself and you observe that pattern, you realize you have a problem. You respect that person enough to call them and say, hey, look, I did this thing, I have a problem. And you trust that this person loves you enough to understand that.
Really?
Hold on.
How many men can come out? Can you do it?
Yes.
Like I said, it depends on who you're with.
I walk up to you and I say, hey, look, something is happening. I have a terrible problem. I don't know what is happening to me, and this is what it is. And trust me, if I would advise my sister the same thing. I'm not saying it because I'm in front of the camera or anything, but I would say this: break up with that person for sure, because there are so many reasons why you don't want to be around such a person.
Yeah.
First and foremost, STDs, of course, and the person just exposes you. There are people that don't believe that sex has a
Drama and
spiritual
everything,
side.
spiritual
Break
stuff,
up with
connection
them, yes,
and
because you
everything.
don't want that. Yeah. So, Summer, waiting I go do for you now, we go make you know say I love you. Make I start the plan.
Are you serious?
Tell me now.
You're back to this question.
Yes, now. So that tomorrow now, in case something happens between me and you, and I'm still doing that thing, you will know that okay, this person loves me. For him to still be
Doing
so
the
maybe
same
this
thing,
will
exactly.
do, and just a mistake, maybe just fuck up for you. You understand? Sorry, pardon my use of the swear word, but this person just made a mistake and he made a mess. You understand? So let's tackle that mess. But provided they're still doing these things that show me that this, provided they still respect me.
See, for me, you cheating is not. That does not mean you should go and cheat, though. But cheating is not a reason for me to leave my spouse. Do you understand? Because we had sex with someone.
That's different.
I will
That's
not
for
leave
you.
you. It's not enough for me
There are
to leave
certain
you.
circles.
See,
There are certain
there's
circles where you
there are
see
levels
this thing
to
that girls
it.
will bash you.
But
Exactly.
there are
Yes,
levels to
definitely.
it. The one I cannot take is, you see, disrespect. Like you're putting
Cheating
it on
in
my
front,
face,
yes, in
you
a
keep
home,
doing
in
it
the
over
home,
and over,
marital
and then
bed
you're not
and
even hiding your shit.
Yeah.
Do your shit, but hide it. I don't want
But
to know. I don't even want to hear.
You know, anger plays a part too. That emotional.
But it's easier
balance.
said than done, though. I wouldn't know how I would react if it starts happening. Like, it depends.
Yeah, all these
It's easier said than
thank
done.
you. All
Yeah.
these things now. When it happen,
Happen when you know the that application when you're in that story.
Yeah.
Because I've seen situations where there's like, let's just say married couple for instance. The man, as soon as he gets angry,
Yeah.
his sex drive just rises. And he loves his wife, of course, yes. But then again, let's just say ordinarily when he's angry from work and everything, he takes it out on his wife, like sexually, and they have the best sex ever. When he's angry at his wife, who does he take it out on? You see him going somewhere else to cheat. Just because he's used to venting all that anger, channeling that anger into sex.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do it. They take sex as a way of relieving himself from pressure, from depression and everything. So they just say, you know what? So now you are the cause of the problem. Maybe you're not giving me enough emotional. Because that's the thing, men, we are very needy. We don't admit it as much that we need that attention and that love and that, hey honey, what's wrong with you, and that pamper. Like we do that strong share, hard man. But we need it. And sometimes when you marry someone, over time, girlfriends do the best job. But wives, they now slack back a little in that whole pamper. Mm-hmm. You don't start seeing one little girl outside doing it to you. Like giving you that extra attention, still telling you, you're a fine boy, you're a dark boy.
Where triggers you, this is what you like, do it very well.
So those little things, it's not saying he doesn't love you, it's just that same attention.
He's not just getting it enough from you.
That same attention, that emotional
so Frank,
connect.
in conclusion, what would you say, like in conclusion?
In conclusion, I'll say, if you can help it, don't cheat. If you can't help it,
admit it to your partner.
Exactly. Admit it to your partner.
Yeah.
What about you, Basili?
In conclusion, what I would say is this. Yeah, conversations like this usually bear upon me, and I hope it bears upon you, the listener, the weight of the responsibility of, a monogamous 21st century relationship. So, if you decide to be in a relationship with your partner and you're not going to cheat, it's something that, you have to really be in that place. You have to be sure that you're in that place. I hope for most people that are viewing that, you've come to that place. And if you decide not to cheat, it's actually a very good and positive thing in that relationship. And if you do cheat, like man makes mistakes and all, at least have the dignity to admit it to your partner and face whatever comes. Okay.
My darling, for me, in conclusion, don't cheat on me because it's an insult. Because I don't know what you're looking for. Maybe say I'm not gonna give you. I'm already too hot, so don't cheat on me. I'm not sure how I'm gonna forgive you, but in as much as I said, it's not enough reason for me to leave my spouse. But I'm not going to cheat on you. I'm going to be obsessed about you. Like, I'm going to be into you. So I want you to also be like that with me. I don't see any reason why you should cheat. So
don't destroy something great and beautiful.
Over that little tiny 5 minutes of action.
2 minutes, 2 seconds.
One thing
true.
you destroy something
you've created over the years. True.
It's always good to take a step back and have it more logical.
Find the cause why he did what he did or she did what she did. Track that cause, squash that cause, and then you can now work on your relationship. It's not enough.
I don't know if we're out of time, but statistically speaking, women. I saw somewhere that women cheat more than men.
Yeah,
That's
but
crazy.
they're
No, no.
I think they
No,
protect
what
us.
we do is
I think they hide enough.
men
They hide
cheat.
well enough. We were just lousy, so they just catch us. We're lousy.
exactly.
You know,
Summer, tell me something.
a
Tell
man,
me something.
a man will not go through your phone. Like a normal man will not really go through your phone.
When I saw this thing,
But
even me
people-
screenshot.
So the thing is,
Men cheat more, but women cheat better.
okay,
That's just it.
okay,
Man.
catchy
You
phrase,
get
catchy
men
phrase.
cheat more, they cheat more. They see this one, they want to go to the next one, they want to have but we might cheat just once in a while, but trust me, we give
Not
you.
once in a while. Please don't cheat ever. If you don't cheat, it's going to be a good thing for your relationship. Forever be.
So for you watching, leave your opinion and your views on the comment section. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the link on the bio to subscribe. Thanks for having you guys.
Thank you so much.
African Summer loves
You
you.
always do this.
High five.
No, it's something I just started today. Mwah! African Summer loves you.